back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. And I love, love, love. I'm just telling my next two guests that I sound like a cliche or a broken record right now because I'm always an advocate for when kings and queens of Trinidad and Tobago are doing wonderful and positive things. I love the fact when you impact humanity positively. And my next two guests are no different. Let's take the time to really enlighten our viewers as to what's going on in the space. This is our Eye on Bago segment. And we have Mr. Marc Shanghie, and he is the owner of Time to Wine, and also Duane Lyons, who is a staple of the brunch set because he's been here before. Emily Christopher event. So he's here in a little capacity of difference today.
Yes.
But guys, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for having
here.
us.
One thing I would just clarify, I'm only one half of the business. I
Right.
just like my wife to be acknowledging that we actually jointly own it, but that apart from that, we are the face of the
Right.
business right now. Yeah.
So just acknowledge wifey.
Yes, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning, love.
And he's going to get me in trouble because I'm also one half of Emily Christopher.
Yeah.
event.
Right.
So I'm going to acknowledge my wife kindness this
You
morning as well.
you
Yeah,
better.
because she's going to get me in trouble.
You better acknowledge.
Yeah.
So Jingle,
Jingle,
Mingle.
mingle.
Yeah.
Now the name just stands out because hey, I want to jingle and mingle.
Right.
So what's going on, guys? Tell me about this event. Let's start with you, Marc. Let's start
Me?
with you.
Okay. I think it might actually be better if Dwayne starts off, given the
So,
fact that
so
it's kind of
Duane
his
is
brainchild.
spearheading
Yeah,
part of,
definitely with
part
the
of it.
event, yeah.
Okay.
The event. So we have for years, again, my wife Candace and I, we've had this idea of doing a mingling event for quite some time, for some years. And the objective behind it is really like a soft networking. So, sometimes if you go to a networking session, sometimes people are pretty formal. They want to, you're kind of talking a business or selling your business. But what we trying to do is kind of soften that a bit, and why we thought of doing the Jingle, Mingle and partnering with Time to Wine is that a lot of professionals, business owners and people and professionals, we so busy doing what we're doing, we don't take time to socialize. So we know a lot of people, we interact with a lot of people, colleagues and different stuff, but we don't really socialize. We probably get little pockets of conversation. So what we loved about Time to Wine is that Time to Wine provides a really intimate space, comfortable space, classy space, where as professionals we could get together and just let some of that formality down and interact. And so that's why we said, okay, let's partner with Time to Wine. It's the holiday season. Let's just relax. Everybody has been working for so long, trying to get back into the groove.
Yes.
Now is probably the best time. Let's have this mingling event and let's see what happens.
And I think being able to let your hair down, as we say, is so important because many times we tend to lose that human aspect of things.
Definitely.
Everybody is social. Everybody's on that tablet, on that device, on that phone.
Exactly.
And the actual connection.
Yeah, and being able to communicate.
Yeah,
it's falling away.
we're
We don't-
losing
you know,
that.
So sometimes we just passing people in the street. Yeah, how you going? And that's it. You know, we don't get into any deep conversation.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we really love about the Time to Wine space is that it provides a really comfortable atmosphere, and you feel inclined to talk, to socialize. And that's what we want to get. We want to move away from just talking to each other for business, and let's get to know each other. I mean, we've seen what's happening in the world. We need to appreciate life, and we need to appreciate each other.
Definitely.
And so we really want to just bring that to the Tobago space and let us get to know one another on a different level.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you said it so well. But tell us, Marc, because you're sitting so quietly in the corner
I could not
there.
have said it any better than he did, so that's the reason why I just gave him the floor in that way. But I could only echo his sentiments. For me and my wife, when we used to go to different places, sometimes to just have like a nice cocktail, or even sit down and just conversate and that kind of stuff outside of the house. The loud blaring music, to the point where you're sitting down next to someone, you can't even have a simple conversation with them. That was always lost on us. And we always said that if we're ever in a position where, we could bring something to the space that's different. That's what we would try to do. And that's what we have been trying to do with the business, create somewhere where people could come, nice, light, ambient music, and you could sit down and you could have a nice date night with your significant other, with, your spouse. Friends could come and sit down and mingle, and it's not like you're being attacked by the music. You can have nice drinks, nice wide selection of wines, cocktails, etc., nice coffee bites and that kind of thing, and you could have a good time and to foster even more communication and that kind of stuff, which I think is kind of lacking right now.
Yeah,
I think people could appreciate that.
I love the communication word. Oh my gosh, that word communication.
Yeah.
It's like such a big captioning. It's all capital letters.
Yeah.
Because it seems basic when you say it out loud, but communication is something that without it, everything just falls apart.
I actually believe communication causes like 95% of the world's problems just
Yes.
from some form of miscommunication. We either didn't communicate it, we forgot to say it, we omitted it, we just didn't want to, we didn't speak clearly enough, we didn't listen properly, because remember, communication is also listening.
Yes.
So sometimes, and especially in this world that's so busy, we lose, and we just want, tell me this quickly, send it to me quickly, and we're not taking the time to really let's actually talk about this.
Yeah, and what about when you have something in your mind, did not express it, and the rest of the team is supposed to know exactly what you want, and then it all goes like
everything
this.
falls apart. Everything falls apart, and and that's one of the things that we really found. Because like I said, we both married, so that's one of the things marriage teaches you. You need to
Communicate.
You need to communicate. Otherwise, you're going to get into a lot of problems.
It's so
a lot
so
of problems.
important.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're coupling so many services. This is like a melting pot. It's like a lovely mix. And so you get the ambience, you get that relaxation, you get that forum or that platform where you can speak and speak freely. And then of course there's music. There's that easy flow, connectivity, and it just
lighting.
the mood, everything.
And
just
really
ties
encouraging
in.
people to come and be open. Don't come rigid. Just relax and come open. Just open to meet people. Don't be inhibited. Sometimes, because sometimes people listen to me talk and not realize that I have a very big challenge with just talking publicly. And what I found, which is why I really like the idea of the mingling event, is that what was easy for me, that even though I felt challenged in going up to speak to somebody, once the environment was created, it made it easier. So, and that's one of the things that we really try to do with the events that we do, and that's why we love, because why we also, Marc didn't mention it, but they are also new management at Time to Wine, so they're really trying to bring the business back out in a different light.
Yes.
And that's really important. So we really wanted to create something that, as he said, really something unique to this space, and let people not feel threatened. We really want to create a space where we really could all just come and be comfortable to share, to communicate, to learn, to meet. And that's what we're trying to do at the event, trying to break down those barriers. Don't come with that fear. We just come in to have a good time and just meet each other and get to know.
I think that this is something Jingle, Mingle, it speaks so well to that coupling effect. It has to grow. This is the first event for you guys.
This is.
So it's going to have to grow from strength to strength.
Definitely.
It's going to have to evolve. It's going to have to include even more players the next time around. What are some of the challenges that you think you might have faced when, I'm going to give Marc this one. What are some of the challenges you think you may have faced when starting the business?
Man, where do I start, to be honest?
I know there's
it's
so
a
many.
multitude. And I'm still, you're still,
I'm glad you gave Marc that question.
it's an evolving challenge, to be honest. There's so much, I think in Tobago, because of how businesses exist here, there's not like one centralized hub for like business activity and that kind of stuff. And because of that, you tend to find that people would have businesses like sprinkled all over the island. People usually do setups at their home, etc., etc. And so even the hardest thing is kind of like knowing who does what, because inevitably in business you would have, challenges that would arise, and you would need to, get the service of someone in order to, get, whether depending on the business,
A
food
pool
or
that you
different
could
type of thing.
choose from.
Yeah, and that's why I think that networking events like this are so important, because because it's scattered all around like that, and because I've realized that people have a tendency to kind of, as Duane was saying, exist in pockets, especially in Tobago.
Right.
A lot of times you don't know things that other people are doing, and so I think networking events are even more important because of the size of the industry that we have here, and also because of how it is created. And so, in terms of the challenges, I mean, that really was like the biggest obstacle to overcome, to find out who does what and to make those connections, because for any business, it's really like a system that you're trying to create. And hopefully with more events like this, that helps solve our problems, and we could also help other people solve those problems for their businesses as well.
Well said. Well said. Duane, what say you?
Well, I think I'll just add one more thing to what he said. I'll add a little bit in terms of one of the challenges is even to find who wants your service. That's a really big challenge. Because I mean, they always tell you, okay, do the market research, but as I said, Tobago is a unique space, and a lot of people are doing the things as he would have mentioned in the pockets. So even just to find, for you to, I guess, it's a communication challenge as well.
Yes. There we go with
Yeah, with the word
again.
again, right? How do you communicate clearly? How do you get your message out amidst all the noise? Because now we're not just competing in our local space, we're competing globally, because a lot of us are just focusing on the social media, and that's one of the reasons that we really even trying to do something like this, is that we need to get off of these devices and tell people about what we're doing, because a lot of the time, even though we advertising broadly, we're still serving the people right around us. And you want to serve your people right around you because you want to better your space as well. You want to improve, because we all want to contribute. I mean, despite what people say, everybody wants to contribute, everybody wants to feel valued and to share their value. And sometimes we're not even really able to articulate that. So I think that's one of the challenges I found in this space, is really finding a way, finding that voice to get your message out, and to because your service is not for everybody, and that's fine. But how do you communicate to who it is you're trying to reach to?
Yes. And this is so much fitting to what Marc just said, because networking is so important. It becomes more and more vital to business, to life, to humanity, to every aspect of your existence here. And finding the relevant persons in the relevant spheres that they may be is so hard.
Very.
So hard.
Sometimes it takes a lot of time too, because as a business owner, you don't always have the time to go and meet, because you're trying to keep the business running, because you don't usually have a lot of staff.
Right.
Sometimes it's you alone, or you and your spouse or your partner, whoever it is you're working with, and you have to, a lot of the time is spent really working the business. And so even taking the time off to go and find this person or get this meeting, it's really, really challenging. So sometimes we really have to just seek out the opportunities like this that we're trying to create to help that. Help that. Just take the little evening out. It's one little evening. Just come, unless you never know. They have a saying, a lot of deals are made on the golf course versus the boardroom.
Yes.
Well, a lot of deals are made over a glass of wine.
Definitely.
So
probably more ideal.
it's probably more ideal too.
Those deals.
Over a glass of wine.
Another glass of wine.
No sun.
It's probably
no
just
sun.
more ideal. So just remind us, guys, of the date of your event, and also how can we reach you? Telephone numbers, social tags, if any.
Okay,
And I'll leave the floor open for you.
Well, the event is on tomorrow, Saturday,
Right.
the 16th, at Time to Wine. That is at Unit 8, Rovenels Resort, and we start at 7 p.m. I'll let Marc give you Time to Wine contact.
Okay, 488 Wine is the contact for Time to Wine. Anything related to the business or the event, people could reach out using that number to get on to us to get information.
Okay.
And our social media handles are on the flyer that is being displayed there for anyone who wants to follow us.
So, guys, the flyer is on our screen. All the information that you need is on there. If you need to reach Marc, it's 488 Wine. Simple, simple, simple. We just want to thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us again.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
From our family to yours, of course, blessings, peace, love, light,
Thank you.
and success.
Thank you so much.
And same to you.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
receive, I receive, I receive. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. But before we go, guys, our trivia question for today. Where in Tobago would you find the historic Crusoe's Cave? The answer at the end of the show. See you guys soon. We'll be right back.